So this is the problem where we are needed to find the minimum common value. In this question, we would be given with two arrays, one be nums1 and another be nums2. So in this array, we can see that it has 1, 2, 3 elements, and this one has 2 and 4 elements. So we can see that the only common element between these two arrays is 2. Similarly, in example 2, you can see that in these two arrays, 2 and 3 elements are common, but we are required to give the smallest number which is repeating. So here it is 2. It means obviously I can have a brute force approach for this. For that, I need to sort both of the arrays, and then basically I would check that if the whenever the both the elements are same, then I would simply return that value and break my loop. But obviously, sorting two times and then having four loops, it would be a complex process. That's why we would use a map here. So, in this map, basically, I would first initialize a map which is M, and then I would insert all the elements. For example, I would store, for example, 1. 1 appear how many times? I would obviously store its frequency as well. So, the key value pair would be key would be the elements of this nums1 array, and value would be its frequency. Okay. So now that I would run another loop to traverse in this array, and then I would check that if this array was already contained in our hash set, then I would return that number. If I don't find any such number, then I would return -1. So the approach is basically like this. For example, it is having 1, 2, 3, and 6. Okay. So first I would be having in the first loop, I would store the elements in our hash set, which was a hash map, which was actually M. So for the first pair, I have added 1 and 0 because the element 1 appears 0 time, I mean 1 times. And then I would store 2. 2 would appear also 1 times. Okay, then I would store 3, which would be also there for 1 times, and then 6 would also be stored, and its frequency would be 1 only. Then I would basically, I want the ordered hash map, that's why I've used it. So because we are required to basically the return the number which is appearing in both arrays and which is smallest as well, so that's why I've used this way. Now I would run a loop for the elements in array 2, and I would check if that element was existing already in our hash map. So for example here, let's suppose that although it is sorted array, so when we initialize the loop, so we can find that here it is 2, and which was also contained in our hash map. So I would simply return 2. But suppose that if this array was not like this, it was like 0, uh, 0, -1, 0, and 2. Suppose that is it was like -1, 0, and 2. Okay, so when I would run the loop in this case, so it would first check for -1, and it would find that there is no such element in our hash map. So it would ignore that, and then the loop would the counter would increase, and it would uh, basically search for 0 in our hash map. It is also not there, so again the counter would be increased, and now it would reach 2, which is existing in our hash map. So that's why we would return 2 in this case.